And good morning, everybody. Welcome back to First Light Talk number 19. I am Michael, obviously Outdoorsman. You already know, drinking the Black Rifle coffee this morning. And today we are doing something a little different, adding a little bit of video into this podcast for the people that are only watching on audio platforms. Check us out on YouTube to watch the video format. And today, the video format might be very important because we are doing a Why It Worked series along with the First Light Talks in, obviously, Outdoorsmen. So I'm going to be playing back a video of my hunt, and I'm going to be explaining exactly why the hunt was successful or unsuccessful, or what worked and didn't work. And basically, this hunt that I'm about to show you is my rut hunt from 2019. I rattled, I grunted, I snort wheezed, and I did fawn bleeds, doe bleeds. I did every call in the book to try and get this deer in, and I was actually able to pull this deer in. And I'm just going to play this video, and I'm going to show and explain exactly why this hunt was successful. So if you guys have not yet subscribed to us already, please drop a subscribe, hit that button, hit the little bell to notify you when we post. And for the First Light Talks, these are posted every single morning. You could watch it on YouTube or listen to it on audio platforms like Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, all the above. So let's play this video, and I'm going to show you why I was able to harvest this really nice New Jersey rut buck 8-pointer. Let's go. So many hunts don't really pan out the way you hope them to, and normally there are specific reasons why they didn't work. But in this hunt, there are plenty of reasons why this hunt actually worked. So right here, when I'm explaining that we are walking into the setup, and we walked in and there was already a 6-pointer chasing a little fawn, a little doe, all around the woods. All right, he was a very active buck. One of these deer were in heat, and as soon as we got in there, we knew the rut action was on. There was a buck chasing, meaning there was a hot doe. So that means any buck in the area is going to catch the whiff of this doe, and it's going to be game on whenever they come on through. So it's just a matter of being up there and creating an illusion and hoping another buck catches the whiff of this hot doe and comes trolling on in. And right here, Rob's eating a bagel, like usual, always eating while we're out hunting.
What is with you and the goddamn bagel?
I'm fucking hungry.
And right here, we're hunting in central New Jersey, where it wasn't super cold this time of year. And right here in this video, there is a doe bedded down while we are already set up in our stand. So when we got in there, the 6-pointer was chasing a little doe all around the woods. And while we're sitting, one of the hot does that he was chasing is bedded out in front of us about 100 yards. And just one of them's hot, and they're bedded. So it's a perfect scenario right here. We have a hot doe sitting out there, and it's just a matter of time until something starts. And right here, we were just sitting down waiting for something to happen. It was slow at first after that 6-pointer walked off. And I just happened to look up from my phone. I looked over my right shoulder, and here came this just burly 8-pointer, big-bodied 8-pointer, just coming in on a beeline to where these hot does are bedded. So right here, he's about like 100, 120 yards out. He's a ways out there just making his way to the hot does. So I'm sitting here, I'm rattling, I'm grunting, I'm snort wheezing, I'm doing absolutely everything in the book. But right here, you see him sniffing the ground. Sniffing the ground, looking around, licking his nose. And right about there is where that hot doe was bedded earlier. While we were sitting up there and that doe was bedded, that's where that doe was bedded. He's checking that bed. He's got the hot doe whiff. So right here, he's smelling that doe's in heat. He's getting turned on. He's already puffed up, and he knows that she's in the area. It's a very fresh scent, and he's already came in, And in my mind, it already clicked. All right. He came in at a right field. This doe was just bedded there. He does not see the doe. All right. So he's looking on where this hot doe is. He wants a piece of action, and he's going to do anything he wants to try and find her. So I am rattling, I'm grunting, I'm creating an illusion that there's bucks fighting within range of his hearing distance, obviously. But there's bucks fighting over here, over a hot doe. That's why I'm throwing in like fawn bleeds or doe bleeds, depending on the size of that doe that was in heat. And it looked to be about a yearling doe that was in heat. That's why I kept throwing bleats in there and bleats in there. But in a normal situation, this is way too much calling, right? Deer are not this vocal. I mean, they can be very vocal at times, but they're not this vocal. So, but rattling, their fights can last for normally a good period of time, depending on the time of year and the bucks that are fighting. They could go on for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, just a normal fight of smashing antlers together. So the rattling, you just got to be intermittent with it. And I love throwing in grunts in between the rattling, snort wheezes, and you're just trying to make it as realistic as possible. So he came in, he smells this hot doe in heat, doesn't know where she is. So I'm sitting there making an illusion that other bucks are fighting over her, just out of sight. That's one of the most important things, that I'm doing all this stuff and he cannot see anywhere from where the calling's coming from. It's so thick in here, as you can see, and he's forced to come and check it out through all these thorns, through this thick cover, to actually see where this doe is, where these bucks are, why they're fighting, and where is this hot doe.
He's sniffing on it right now. He's looking. He's looking right at us. He's coming, wait. He's looking. He's coming. He's sniffing the branch.
So this is a good sign. Right here, I catch him actually just really licking his nose. He's licking his nose to try, like, he's trying to increase the scent and get a better scent of where this buck, what buck is grunting at him, what buck is snort wheezing, and he's showing interest, which is a good thing. This buck, the reason I called so much at him, he wasn't really showing a lot of interest in me. If he just stayed locked on me from the beginning, like just looking in my direction, posturing up, then I wouldn't have called as much. But I didn't know that the 6-pointer from the beginning is still lingering out in the back. So he's busy over there. He's checking that hot doe. That doe must have been really in heat, very ready to be bred, because his nose was just in the leaves, sniffing and licking that branch that she brushed up on, and his mind was, I need to find this doe. So I'm calling a bunch at him, and he's turning, he's doing everything, and somewhere right here, that 6-pointer comes out of his bedding area, and you see right here he's posturing up. So I'm trying to create an illusion that there's 2 other bucks fighting over here. So it's hard to turn him. You see his ears back, all his hairs are standing up on his head. He's kind of doing like a tilt towards the other buck, and they're about to duke it out.
They're on each other.
So you see this 6-pointer a little more interested in me, looking over that 8-pointer, and there they go, they're starting to fight. So right here, I'm calling while they are all fighting. While these 2 bucks are fighting, I am trying to call. I'm trying to break them up and saying, wow, they're really fighting over there. Because right now, that 6-pointer got up out of his bed away from that hot doe because he heard me, and he probably saw this buck. Sorry about the video, a little shaky. But that 6-pointer left them does to come fight this buck, and this little 6-pointer would have lost to this 8-pointer any day. But I'm calling, I'm trying to do anything to break them up and get more attentive on me versus themselves, because that 6-pointer left that doe. Now both bucks don't know where that hot doe is. So right here, I'm about to do a big calling sequence and turning them. And I know these bucks can't see me. That's why I keep calling while they are looking at me. Normally when they look at you, you stop calling because they could pin you exactly where your tree is. So right here, that 6-pointer locked in the direction of where I'm calling from. But I know they can't see me, and it's going to force them to actually come and check it out. So I'm throwing grunts, I'm throwing snort wheezes at them, I'm rattling, I'm doing everything to try and turn these deer.
He's coming.
And right here, I got this 8-pointer. I got him interested, but he's following that hot doe still. All right, so if I just stopped calling altogether, he would have just followed this hot doe trail out and away from me, because that's where that doe went. All right, the 6-pointer's looking at me, he's interested, and this 8-pointer's starting to follow this hot doe. And I'm still trying to call, I'm still trying to turn him towards me, thinking that the hot doe is over here. And I do one call that really sealed the deal on turning him to come check it out. Right, he's interested, they're both interested right here, but they're not committed.
The 8's out. You don't care.
And right here, that call sealed the deal on this hunt. All right, I dropped a breeding grunt, a long, low breeding grunt. All right, that sound, what you just heard, is a breeding grunt, and that means that it's basically the action's getting on, not where you are. So his nose is telling him that the doe went that way, and his nose was correct. That's where the doe went. But I'm trying to fool him with his ears and just playing a real-time fake fight and just action going on over here. So he's still working away from me. He pops up, and right here, I knew I had him on a hook. I was just basically reeling him in at this point. I've called all I needed to call, so I knew when to shut up. I was very vocal this whole time, and now that I know that he's turning and he is coming to check out what all this commotion is, knowing the hot doe went away from him, he basically betrayed his own nose, even though his nose was correct, and he's coming in on a beeline. And once I know he's coming in, I stop calling altogether. If he starts losing interest or he starts going too far away, I'll drop maybe just a couple tiny grunts, short, quick grunts, but he's on a string, and I'm just going to let you enjoy this last little part. And right below my stand, there's a line of like thick bush running along this whole creek bed. So he is forced to come closer and closer and closer, and I ended up calling this deer right to like 15 yards at the base of the tree across the little stream that's right there. So he was being forced to come in and cross the creek to actually see where all this commotion was coming from, and he's coming in on a string. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of this hunt, and I will explain a little more when it's done. I just wanted to add in, he's about like at 15 yards right here, maybe 16 yards, and he's so close I have to wait to draw back at an opportune time, and he's close to a tree between us. So as soon as his eyesight's not right in line with me in general, because we're like stone cold still right now, and as soon as he looks away, right here I draw back, and right here it's game on, and I'm holding it until I get a perfect shot opportunity. And here we go.
shot. Oh, you got him. He's done, dude. That's long. Jesus Christ.
And right here is the look of just amazed success. All right, the fact that I was able to pull him in from like 120 yards away with another buck with a hot doe in the area. I just fooled this deer altogether, and he came right in.
Dude, give me some. Give me some.
And here is the aftermath. I did not need to place a second shot on this deer, but like in the video, you saw him wagging his tail. He was going down. A great New Jersey buck, a great buck in general, right? I harvested deer not because it was the biggest of my life, and I really don't care. It was a trophy to me. Just the experience that this buck gave me and the learning that I got off of this buck of calling and learning what to use and what to throw at this deer. And I brung this deer with his knowledge in his head saying, the hot doe's going this way, and the calls that I used turned him to bring him right to the base of my tree. My shot was a little bit higher than I liked, but I double lunged him and it was perfect. He was going down, but I just 10-ringed that second shot and he went down in his tracks. And just a great buck. The breeding grunt was the reason why this buck, the downfall of this buck was the breeding grunt, but it was everything thrown together. But I guarantee you, if I didn't throw that last breeding grunt out there, that buck wasn't coming in. All right. Yes, the rattling, the snort wheezing, and all the other grunts thrown in there would have been good, but I think he would have came out and just followed that hot doe track of him and leading right away from me. So that breeding grunt, that last little bit of action, turned him and saying, okay, I'm following this hot doe. I don't know where this hot doe trail leads, and there's a buck doing a breeding grunt way over there, and two bucks are fighting over there. So one buck just beat the crap out of another buck. I'm the dominant buck in this area. I'm going to go over there, check it out, maybe beat up that buck, and then breed this doe. That's his mindset. And I was able to bring him in to 20 yards. And once he was in at 15 yards, it was just a matter of stopping the deer and just all the practice leading into this moment, making a perfect shot, capitalizing on this moment. And I made it happen. And Rob was there to film, and he ended up taking his 6-pointer probably about a week later. The same 6-pointer that was fighting my 8-pointer, he shot the 6, and I'll do a why it worked on that hunt as well. And maybe we have talked about doing a double mount. Right now we have both deer Euro mounted right now, and I think we're going to get both bucks mounted like they were fighting. So it would be a very cool mount in like a hunting cabin or whatever we do in the future. But I hope you guys enjoyed this style of video of the Why It Worked series, a part of the First Light Talks. Obviously, they're coming out First Light. For all my outdoorsmen out there, if you guys are just new to the First Light Talks, new to this podcast, obviously outdoorsmen, we do a couple different series here. First Light Talks, Why It Worked series. And basically these podcasts come out every morning. These videos I try and do daily. The audio version itself comes out on Spotify, any audio platform, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Breaker. They come out at 6 a.m. every morning, but the video of these podcasts, the video format comes out normally a little bit later on in the day. I don't have as much time to edit them perfectly in the morning before work. So the video format comes out a little bit later on. But if you guys just want to listen, then they are all out on audio platforms every morning between like 6 and 8 a.m. And I try and be as consistent as I can possibly be. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed this hunt. If you guys like this style of video, please comment down below. Give me the feedback. Basically showing that what I'm doing is working. You guys are liking it. You guys are learning something. And if you guys hated it, please let me know why you hated it and just tell me what you guys want. All right, I'm here for you. I'm trying to help you guys out. And if I'm telling you guys the wrong stuff and you don't like it, please let me know. All right, I am Mike. We're obviously outdoorsmen. Thank you for listening to FLT number 19 and the Why It Worked series part 1 to FLT 19. All right, I am Mike, but obviously outdoorsmen. Again, please subscribe, drop a like on the video, share this video with your buddies, your hunting partners. And that is it, guys. Until tomorrow, to FLT number 20 tomorrow. And just enjoy your day. Go work out, shred it up today. I am Mike. Peace.